parking area below 2059 downtown near 22nd Street. This will impact parking for weekend events at the BJCC, such as the UNCF Masked Ball. We'll have more on that event later in our newscast. The next major project on the books for the city of Birmingham has officially started. Today, the city broke ground on the intermodal facility. It's a long discussed project which is envisioned to bring all of the city's public transportation into a modern facility in a central location. CBS 42's Melissa Kim has been covering today's groundbreaking. And Melissa, what will this mean for Amtrak and the Max bus system right now?
Well, Sherry, both Amtrak and Max bus systems will both have temporary facilities here on 17th Street and Morris Avenue until the intermodal facility is complete, which will be sometime mid to late next year. And it's a project that will change the way travelers and commuters get around Birmingham. Phyllis Jones is heading to Memphis.
Just for my daughter's birthday and just to have a good time.
She loves to travel, but it's not easy to coordinate a trip in and out of Birmingham, unlike other cities she's visited.
You got to either have a cab here waiting for you or somebody here to pick you up. Otherwise, you'll be stranded downtown in Birmingham. There's no way to get around.
But that's about to change. The city will break ground on the new intermodal facility in 2 weeks that will house trains, buses, shuttles, and taxis under one roof. City Councilman Jonathan Austin says it's the Magic City's transportation hub.
Now people can come to Birmingham's version of Grand Central Station to get to their final destination, whether they're coming in from the airport or just going to another city.
People in Birmingham won't be the only ones using the intermodal facility, but also travelers like Phyllis and her friends.
I think that's great. I think it's very great. Yep, I think that's fantastic. I was looking out trying to figure out, I said they must be finna do the whole Central Station. The train, everything gonna be combined.
It's the first thing that people see is the gateway into the city. And so what we want to do is not only make it aesthetically appealing, but also functional for people who are coming from other cities to see that Birmingham can excel and we can perfect, in my opinion, the use of mass transit.
And on that note, Councilman Austin says he hopes the new hub will bring more tourists to the Birmingham area.
And Melissa, in the beginning of this process, there were plans to add restaurants and retail around that intermodal facility. Is that still what's happening with the city right now?
Yeah, Sherry, those plans are still a go. There will be retail space in the new intermodal facility, which is supposed to bring more jobs to the area. And Birmingham Mayor William Bell today also said that there are plans to build a bridge between the new intermodal facility and Railroad Park. Sherry, back to you.
Thanks, Melissa. When this project is complete, it will extend across 2 city blocks. You can find a link to the plans on our website at cbs42.com.
And it's a nice night out tonight, but for tomorrow, it's going to be even better. Right now, Birmingham, 48 degrees, 48 in Pelham. Off to the north, we're looking at 45 degrees in Carbon Hill and 46 in Hayden. Arley up in Smith Lake, 43 degrees. Coleman, you're at 42 degrees. Out in Blount County, Blountsville, you're at 45 degrees as well. A live look downtown, 48 degrees. Regions Field, UAB took the field. We're going to have some highlights of UAB coming up in sports, but first, your first forecast. Now, 48 degrees, but by noon, we're going to have some temperatures in the mid-60s, getting up to 70. I'll have a detailed full forecast in just a few minutes.
A woman in Pell City and her family finally know what happened to their loved one after more than 7 years of not knowing. The remains of Ernest Gamble were found back in 2010, nearly 3 years from when he went missing on December 12th of 2007. But there was no way to be sure the body found in a Fairfield garage did in fact belong to Mr. Gamble. That call finally came for Lorraine Higginbotham on Thursday, and she's glad it came.
I knew my brother was found, and it was my brother, and he would be over by Mama in the cemetery.
A burial service is scheduled for Ernest Gamble on Sunday, March 16th at the St. Clair Memorial Cemetery. It's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, concrete is shattered at a home in Coleman County following new leads in a nearly 5-year-old missing persons case. Workers started excavating underneath the front porch of a home on County Road 1136 Thursday afternoon. Sheriff Mike Rainey says they are looking for any evidence that will tell them what happened to Tabitha Franklin. The department is utilizing bulldozers, sonar equipment, and cadaver dogs as part of the excavation.
If there's somebody out there right now, if we are getting close and they've got something they're holding on to that might help this investigation, we ask that they come forward.
The homeowner is identified as Keith Floyd. Sheriff Rainey says he was arrested on drug charges. He's not considered a suspect in the Tabitha Franklin investigation. We have an update tonight on a Birmingham police officer accused of arson in 2012. Jason Arnold pleaded guilty to the crime. A judge sentenced him to a split 10-year suspended sentence. That means he'll serve about 6 months in jail and 3 years on probation. Another former Birmingham police officer accused of setting separate fires in 2012 is serving a 100-year prison sentence. A jury convicted Curtis Thornton last year for fires in Warrior and in western Birmingham. Prosecutors at the time called him a serial arsonist. The city of Fairfield has a new name on its city council, Councilwoman Gloria Matthews. Matthews was one of 2 candidates who applied for the District 2 seat, which was left vacant by former Councilman Primus Mack. Mack was forced to relinquish that position in January after he was convicted of second-degree sexual abuse and child enticement charges. She will finish the remainder of Mack's term.
Crimea was, is, and will be an integral part of Ukraine. No concessions, full stop.
The tensions continue to escalate in Crimea. There are now reports that Russian soldiers have stormed a military base there and they've used flash grenades to take control. The USS Truxtun has now taken position in the Black Sea just south of Ukraine. The U.S. military says the deployment is simply routine. And an added wrinkle to this situation, the U.S. is now worried that NSA leaker Edward Snowden could provide Moscow with U.S. war plans. Over the last year, we've explored the death of drug abuse in the Metro Birmingham area, from prescription abuse to illegal narcotics. Drug enforcement agents are staying pretty busy. In many cases, the drugs tear apart families, and the Children's Policy Council of Jefferson County is doing something about it. They announced today the formation of a new drug court to help children, parents, or both get back on the road to recovery. Charges are being dropped against a man who wrote bad checks to his employees in Etowah County. The county DA's office says Roger Stanmore has made good on the issue and that all of his employees now have the money they earned. You may recall EMS workers walked off the job last month after going 6 weeks without being paid. That put Etowah EMS out of business, forcing the city of Gadsden to find an alternative ambulance service. The company has since surrendered its medical transport license. A sign in downtown Birmingham is grabbing a lot of attention, but not necessarily the kind it was intended to draw. There's also confusion as to how the sign managed to get up in the first place. Chris Womack's at Railroad Park right now, which has a clear view of the sign in question. Chris, what's going on?
Well, Sherry, the evening sky here at Railroad Park definitely has a different flavor to it now that there's an advertisement for a large beverage company sitting atop a downtown building, and many aren't needing to wait for a taste test to decide they don't like it. The warm weekend is well underway with water shimmering, berries blooming,
and then you've got this.
We're not going to show you what this is exactly, because this story is about a process, not a product.
We don't want it to set a precedent in terms of what happens.
In particular, that sign went to the Design and Review Committee twice, and we wanted to make sure that they had seen it or reviewed it, but to my understanding, they turned it down.
But the company found a loophole, so now that sign looms over downtown. It advertises a product made by locally owned Buffalo Rock.
I think the finished product is gaudy. I don't think that it fits in with the rest of the city.
We got to strengthen our signage ordinance in the city of Birmingham.
Normally, this type of sign for this type of company would be considered an off-premise sign, which limits signage to 800 square feet. This one is 10,000.
I think Birmingham eventually will be to the point where we can have signage where people want to advertise all over, but we have to enforce things in the city. Make sure we have uniformity.
I think they need to take it down and start over. There is, I think, every necessity to demonstrate that we're going to have respect for the process and that we're going to ask that our corporate citizens be every bit as compliant as our average citizens.
And Chris, we are hearing some people complain about this. Is this grassroots group that's complaining, planning anything in the near future to protest the sign?
Well, tomorrow they're encouraging people to come out here to Railroad Park and take pictures of the signs and tag the company in it, sharing their sentiments for the sign. Likewise, Buffalo Rock is asking supporters to come out and take pictures with captions showing their support. I do want to add that we did reach out to Buffalo Rock around 2 o'clock this afternoon. They did not get back to us today. Sherry?
All right, we'll stay on the story. Thanks, Chris. Last month, we told you how neighbors in Forestdale are now taking it upon themselves to pick up garbage along Jefferson County roads. Well, they are not alone. The trash problem extends county-wide. County Manager Tony Patella says there's just not enough money in the budget to pay for cleanup along the roads. Now people along Sickert Hollow Road are ready to roll up their sleeves and remove the litter that's piling up in their community.
Someone had thrown out a real large club chair and a huge tire, truck tire, and they would not agree to send anyone out to pick that up.
While the county's no longer paying for the labor to remove the trash, they say they will still provide supplies like garbage bags to any community willing to do the work themselves. Still ahead tonight, Selma is buzzing as the city prepares for the weekend's bridge crossing jubilee. But first, a congresswoman brings a powerful ally from Washington for a town hall meeting today, and volunteers are working hard tonight to prepare the Sheraton for a very special ball.
And a live look with our BJCC camera looking westbound. Winds are calm, 48 degrees, but it's going to be warmer tomorrow. I'll explain in your full weather forecast. That's right after the break.
Congresswoman Terry Sewell is in town and showing off the Magic City to a very special guest. Congresswoman Maxine Waters of California is accompanying Sewell on her visit home. They stopped by the Pratt City Library today for a town hall meeting with city and community leaders. Waters is here to better understand issues affecting the Birmingham area, something she says can only benefit the city in the future.
And by coming here, I understand it better, and hopefully I can be of more help to her and she can be of more help to me.
Waters is a ranking member of the House Financial Services Committee. Terry Sewell also serves on that committee. Preparations are underway for the 5th annual Masked Ball to benefit the United Negro College Fund. Volunteers are preparing tables and getting masks ready for tomorrow night's event at the Sheraton downtown Birmingham Hotel. The organizers of the annual fundraiser are looking to raise $500,000 this year to benefit college students at 5 universities in the state.
Many of our students are just not able financially to get through college, so we are the ones who are going to support them. And
the Masked Ball will take place tomorrow night at the Sheraton Ballroom downtown. You can go to CBS42.com to see our interview with student Rashad Miles, who's a beneficiary of one of the UNCF scholarships. The information is there for tickets. You can go to our website as well at CBS42.com. Well, Selma is buzzing with activity this weekend as the Bridge Crossing Jubilee got underway this evening. This is video from last year's bridge crossing, which commemorates Bloody Sunday, which took place on March 7th, 1965. It's when people assembled to march from Selma to Montgomery and were attacked by state troopers as they crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge. There is a full calendar of events beginning with a parade tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. That will be followed by the Jubilee at 11. The bridge crossing reenactment is Sunday at 2:30 in the afternoon. It is important for people to register for this upcoming event. It is a fundraiser. It's a cancer conference event for young survivors of cancer. It's a first of its kind event next week at UAB's Comprehensive Cancer Center. It's not childhood cancer, but people who are 15 to 39 years old who have had a cancer diagnosis and are dealing with a unique set of needs. UAB's Comprehensive Cancer Center will have medical experts on hand for a day-long conference to help them navigate a variety of questions they may have, whether it's fertility and medical, social, or even spiritual concerns. The Comprehensive Cancer Center has just opened the registration to survivors and their families or clinicians.
Within like the 25 to 39-year-old group who are just trying to start their families, starting their careers, who are trying to start social relationships or even personal relationships. It's an age group that usually gets overlooked when we talk about cancer because cancer usually happens later in life after the age of 45 or 50.
So that event is Saturday, March 15th at the UAB Comprehensive Cancer Center's Wallace Tumor Institute. And again, it's important to register for it. It begins at 8 a.m. that Saturday until 4:30. We have a link to their website at CBS42.com.
And now, CBS 42 weather.
Well, after a very nice Friday, we have a great Saturday on tap. Clouds will roll in for Sunday and rain showers in the forecast for next week. Hey, look at this live shot we showed you earlier, but you can't beat this. It's getting us in the mood for spring and baseball season. UAB's team took the field today, 48 degrees, a calm wind downtown. Here's Homewood, 48 degrees, a calm wind as well. As you can tell, the flag's not really flying that gusty out there. The winds will stay calm. It's 48 pretty much across the board. 48 here in Birmingham, Alabaster, Clanton, 46 Tuscaloosa, 44 Anniston, Center you're at 43, Gadsden 46, 42 Coleman, Hamilton at 46 degrees. Radar is dry. The rain from yesterday way off there. This next system I'm tracking, but really it's going to hit some dry air and it's going to fall apart. With that, it's going to bring in clouds for Sunday, but not so much tonight. We see some clouds that are overhead now, but they're really starting to thin. That darker area is high clouds, and I expect lots of sunshine for tomorrow. That's where our cloud and rain forecast takes us. Here we are at 9 a.m. If you can do anything outdoors tomorrow, make sure you do it. It looks absolutely gorgeous through the day tomorrow. You see the green way off to the side of your TV. Well, you see it starts to fizzle away. That's what I'm talking about. Hitting some dry air. Church Sunday morning at 8:30. Some clouds, but it will be warm still. Enjoy that nice warm spring weather. As we get into Sunday night, it will be very pleasant, and an hour later. But one thing that's not so pleasant, all the allergy sufferers out there, we're starting our pollen count. That means it must be spring. It's medium to high tomorrow for juniper, elm, and maple. Gets worse Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Anytime we can get some rain, well, that's going to help. Tonight, temperatures 37 Hamilton, 40 Centerville, 69 tomorrow Jasper, and East Alabama, working at temperatures in the 40s tonight, clear skies, and mild tomorrow. Excellent. Alex City 72, Sylacauga 71, Talladega 69, 67 in Gadsden. All right, a look at our 3-day forecast now. Tomorrow, 70 degrees, and then for Sunday, clouds, 69 degrees. Let's break down your Saturday for you. Saturday, throughout the day, we're going to see sunshine, 66 by noon, 70 by 5 o'clock. Breaking down, let's break down your Sunday for you as we take a look at Sunday. 50 in the morning, mild, cloudy, but you know what? It's still going to be great with all these temperatures. And the rest of your 7-day forecast, a couple of shots of rain on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But that's about it. It'll stay warm, cool down a little bit on Thursday. Sherry?